the crazy thing is that experience is not unnatural, right? Now, obviously, your husband is recreating the experience that he experienced when he was a kid. He didn't get that attention and that respect, and he's recreating that experience again. And it's it, it's hard. It's like the brain is wired in to uh, to the experiences of the past, and it's really hard to change the wiring and to get beyond that, though, right? Because his perceived success of his children is his own perceived success as well,
Mm.
um, which is understandable. Although I don't see the success of my children as my success.
Mm.
I think it's their own success,
Of
basically,
course.
because it's their time and energy they put in they put into it. And people want to praise the parents for the success of the kids. I think that a lot of it is the time and the energy that the kids put into what they're doing. Of course, the parents set them up and help prepare them for those things as well. Um, but it's moments matter. Moments matter, and you get those moments with your kids that if you don't take them, you don't get a second shot. And they're key things that happen. Moments matter. And as a parent, you kind of have to be ready to grab that moment when it happens. Because when your child comes to you to show you something, it's like, wow, they want me to be a part of their world. Or when my daughter comes to me and says, Dad, can you come and play with me? And I, I basically have to do everything possible to say yes to that,
Mm.
because if I say no now,
Mm.
maybe she won't ask me again. And I really don't want that. And I'm not always successful in achieving what I want to do. Sometimes I will be busy doing something and I'll say I have to finish this first, and then I get caught in something else and she gets interested in something else and we don't get around to doing it, and I feel really bad because it
Mhm.
hasn't happened. So we're not all perfect at what it is that we do, but we've got to realize that moments matter. When our children come to present us with something, it's necessary to sit down and listen and give them time. And the crazy thing is that we often are not successful with with our own children. What is school? What is school? School is paying other people to listen to our kids because we don't have time.
Mm.
That's what school is. That's what we do. We pay other people to listen to our kids because we don't have time. Um, so the little time that we do have, it's really important to use that
Mm.
to make a difference. But we don't always get it right. Sometimes we miss the opportunities, and there can be 1,001 reasons for it. I'm not going to make excuses for why anybody does what it is that they do. Um, it could be that they're interested in something else. It could be that it's late. It could be they're tired. It could be something else.
Mm.
Um, I don't know. Very often my son comes to me and wants to tell me something. I'm like, I can't right now. Or he'll tell me something, and I will say, too much information. Just like, too much information. I trust you to go and do whatever it is that you need to do, and
Mm.
uh, and that's cool. I don't need to know about the progress. If you got any problems, let me know. And I trust you to be able to manage
Mm.
that activity. Um, so uh, so it's hard. You, you kind of you don't get a second shot at being a parent, right? You don't get a second shot at getting it right.
Yes.
You've got to hit it right first time, but you don't have any experience. So, as most people don't have any sort of experience, they're thrown into it blindly, and they think a lot of it will happen automatically, but it doesn't. You've got to work at it, as you pointed out
Mm.
earlier. Reading books helps. Um, but there's only 1% of parents that read books, maybe less than 1% of parents that read books about how it is to be a good parent. And then you have to find good books, because a lot of books will tell you things that are not good that you should do. They will persuade you
Yes.
that it's okay to not tell your kids the truth, or they'll say,
Advice.
well, I read a lot of parenting blogs and information, and one of the things that really annoys me is when parents say, I just want a script. I don't know what to say. Just give me the script. Tell me what it is that I have to say to my child in this situation. And I see that everywhere constantly. And I think it completely misses the point, because it's not about what you say, it's about how you listen. And
Mm.
if you've got a script in your head, then you're just acting. I mean, it's not bad to have different methods of doing something, for sure. But if you've just got a script in your head that you replay again and again when the same problem occurs, then you're not really listening. And the problem is, why did the problem happen in the first place, right?
Mm.
Not how do we manage the problem. So it's not really getting to the core of the issue that's
Yes.
there.
Yes.
Well, it's
Mm.
there are things that are important to us, and that comes out in conversation, right?
Mm.
It comes out what is important to us,
Mm.
and we have to deal with what is the most levels of importance matter. That's how we prioritize our life. The priorities are important. The reason why something has happened is because it's a priority. And the reason
Mm.
why something hasn't happened is not a priority. That which we don't say casts a shadow still. There's a shadow. There's the shadow of what people don't say. Anything that anybody does not want to talk about is exactly where they need to go. Every time someone says, I don't want to talk about it, that's it. That's the problem. That has to be explored. That's it. Everything that you don't want to explore, um, in terms of a question about your own life or what is happening around about you, is something that you must explore. Um,
Mm.
because what you're doing is you're managing your own perception of the world at that point in time. You're managing how you see the world and how you feel, and um, you're not allowing yourself to be authentic. And it's absolutely necessary to. I've had so many conversations with people who say that's not important, but it is, or
Mm.
I don't want to talk about that, but that's the core root cause. And if you don't explore that, you just repeat the same thing again and again and again.
Mm.
And um, as I said earlier, talking about things is great, but if it's not followed by action, it's it's completely irrelevant. It's like, what is business? Business is action. Business deals are action. Contracts are action. Getting things done is action. Sending emails is action. Business is all about action, with the purpose of teaching us that we can do much more in life. I mean, otherwise there wouldn't be much purpose. You know, it is all about learning and growing.